Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports.
And it's brought to you by EA Sports.
It's the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns.
And it's coming up next. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns. And hi again, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside, as always, my partner Charles Davis. And CD, in the few moments here before kickoff, let's give these folks at home a look at these two offenses by the numbers. What stands out to you?
Brandon, I just continue to be amazed by the analytics of the game, and it's an area where I continue to concentrate and study because I'm still trying to figure out how coaches and coordinators can really crunch the numbers and find where exactly on the field a defense is vulnerable. It's the game within the game. And if you really dive into it, it can be endlessly fascinating.
And the drive starts. Left side. 2nd and 2. Off play action. Daniels. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up. Nathaniel Hackett apparently disagrees with the ruling on the field, and he's going to challenge this one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job, you and I both know.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
Down the left sideline. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. From 4 yards out. And the Broncos will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll keep it on the ground. Knighton, he'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down. He'll drop to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Running right through him. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So now the Broncos offense will come out here as they'll try to add on 2 more. They'll try and run it here. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So they try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Kicks it on the ground with now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss. A disastrous loss there on 1st and goal on the sack. Sets him back big time. Off the play fake. Daniels. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos are an extra point away from going up by 30. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter. They're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they've put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tariq Cohen, 31 yards. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And he's got to be seeing ghosts here early on. He's thrown 2 passes. Both have been intercepted. 1 run back for a touchdown. Work to do as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Broncos have got it on cruise control. Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Extra point attempt to follow here. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Kicks it on the ground with it. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. On 1st and 10, Daniels. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Daniels. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Victor Bolden with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for two, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. On first down, Daniels. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos are pouring it on. He's been a frequent target, and with catches like that, one-handed in the end zone, I'd keep going his way.
And he's doing it every which way, isn't he? 2 hands, and in this case, we just saw it with 1 hand. Almost reminds me of a great return of service guy in tennis. No matter how you whack it at him, it comes back at you. In this case, he just envelops it and brings it in.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Broncos. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Broncos extend their lead yet again. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
That's complete to Austin Ekeler, the running back. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Broncos would extend their lead here just before halftime. Nathaniel Hackett told his offense to stay put. They're going for 2.
The final shot before break. Daniels. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none, because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
Taken in at the 3.
So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime.
A happy sight for a lot of these fans. We're jumping right over halftime and getting back into the action. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
On second down, and oh my goodness, he loses it again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Here's Jones. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Daniels.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. That's caught. They are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. 10. 5. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 97 yards.
And the Broncos are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point.
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A lone second remains now in this 3rd quarter. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Touchdown! A great effort there. 34 yards.
And the Broncos get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Nathaniel Hackett told his offense to stay put. They're going for 2.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fields it right around the goal line.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taking it about the 1. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to...
No, it's out. Smith lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
108 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28.
And solid field position here to start as they get this out to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to fourth. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag.
Intentional grounding, offense.
We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead, and some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.